Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Orbital Takes. Today is Wednesday, November 2nd. Today's episode is brought to you by your favorite space account, Space Flight Hub and Space with Spo. Go online and follow them now. Let's talk about a quick rundown of topics today. It's a heavy SpaceX episode. We're going to be talking a little bit about the Falcon Heavy launch today. We'll give you some Starship updates, some Artemis mission updates, the OTOG segment, and then we'll finish off with a launch and scrub of the week. But first, we got to congratulate our co-host here, Pat. Congrats on the baby boy. How you feeling? Have you had any sleep this week or what?
I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is.
I
don't know where I'm at right now. Yeah, it's definitely challenging having two under two. We're getting through it though. But thanks. It's everything's he's perfect. My wife is healthy, so yeah, everything's good, man. I appreciate it.
And a fire name, right? JP3, right?
Yeah, he's John Patrick III, aka
That's
JP3.
clean.
Just kind of rolls off the tongue. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
clean. That's dope. Well, I'll tell you what. So we waited 40 months to see another Falcon Heavy launch. This kid waited how many days, right? I mean, how lucky is he to be born and then automatically he gets, a Falcon Heavy launch out there in the universe. It really is crazy. So today, it was Tuesday. You guys are getting this on a Wednesday, but I guess yesterday, the Space Force had a payload that was classified on the Falcon Heavy rocket. So this is the world's most powerful rocket in service, right? I guess that's the whole tagline in the news these days, right? It's the world's most powerful rocket that's operational.
Mhm.
It has 5 million pounds of thrust at takeoff. It was a foggy launch at first, but then about 45 seconds in, you really got to see how sick this rocket is. I mean, you might notice this in the past from the Falcon Heavy debut in 2018 when SpaceX launched that red car or that red Tesla into space. So that was on a Falcon Heavy, and they're going to be launching more of these. Did you get a chance to watch it or what?
I did. I was just waking up, and when you texted me about fog, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And it didn't look good on the launch pad, certainly. But then, like you said, once it got up above the fog, you could see it much clearer. One thing that was kind of interesting to me when the two boosters were coming back to land, there was ice on the camera on the way up. Presumably because of the fog, the condensation, but then as it re-enters the atmosphere, it burns off, and then you can just see clearly, which is cool. And they just landed. The boosters landed at landing zone 1 and 2. The SpaceX has it perfected. It seems like. Do we know? I didn't see. Did the core stage, did it land on the drone ship?
Yeah, so it looks like it worked. SpaceX's Falcon Heavy rocket, world's most powerful rocket, launches after 3-year hiatus. Yeah, I don't see any issues here. Wow, that's sick. So why did it take 40 fucking months for them to launch another Falcon Heavy rocket? Let me tell you a quick funny story here. So our buddy Robin at Supercluster, we have this inside joke that every time I see him, he tells me all right, I'll see you at the Falcon Heavy. I'll see you at the Falcon Heavy. And the joke was that he just kept saying that. And every 6 months, I was like, when is this fucking Falcon Heavy going to launch? They finally launched. Neither of us were there. I mean, I think they just kept delaying it. But yeah, this is such a sick rocket, bro. I can't wait to watch more of these in the future. I want to get down there and see this in person so bad. I mean, the Falcon 9 goes off every day and, nobody bats an eye. The Falcon Heavy, though, this thing is fucking huge.
Like you said, it's the most powerful operational rocket. SLS will be
quote unquote operational.
Yeah, quote unquote operational. SLS will be able to lift heavier. Starship will be able to lift heavier.
Starship
Vulcan
will dunk on this, right?
Yeah, and so will Vulcan from ULA. So, but yeah, so you asked why haven't we seen one in 40 months, and it's kind of become obsolete, if you will, for the time being, at least, because the upgrades to the Falcon 9 to those Merlin engines have been able to really any payload that they need to can be taken care of by the Falcon 9. There's not all of these probes and payloads that need a heavy lift capability right now, at least. So, and then why continue pouring investments into a rocket like that when you're actively developing something that's going to dunk on it, like you said. So that's why. But this U.S. Space Force launch had been on the books for at least a couple of years, and there was delays on the Space Force side, I believe. So, I hope to see one of these before it's retired, like you.
Speaking of Starship updates, they are now expected to launch early December. The FAA still needs to clear them, and they said in a statement on Monday, only after SpaceX provides all outstanding information can the agency fully analyze it and then clear them. SpaceX did not return for comment. It looks like Elon's just finishing up that paper. Simple as that, and then we'll get out of there before 2023, hopefully. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Hopefully. He said March, he said July, he said August.
We've been doing this for so long now.
Yeah, like I'm I'm done making predictions. I wouldn't be surprised if this pushes to early 23, to be honest with you. Which is fine. We don't need a rapid unscheduled deconstruction and have it set back even further. So, take your time, get it right the first time. Yeah. That's my thoughts on it.
And to remind you guys, so NASA in 2021 picked SpaceX Starship to land humans on the moon around 2025 for the first time since 1972. And now, obviously, this mission is a big deal because it's a $3 billion contract, and they're going to require several tests for this thing to go orbital in advance, which could push it delayed even. Look, I'm not trying to be a hater, but I don't think we're getting back there till 2026 now that I really am talking about it out loud, right? I kind of prefer it slips until the first month of 2023. Let's go January 23, but get it right. Like, let's just do another month. Don't rush it for December. Like, I want them to have a clear date so nothing happens like the SLS issues that we've been having here.
Yeah, I totally agree. Let's get it right. Let's not have any sort of like I said, RUD that's going to set the whole program back. That's we're already being, in my opinion, aggressive with a 2025 lunar landing timeline. I think if you speak with individuals in who are actually working on the hardware and stuff, they're like, yeah, 25 is probably not going to happen. When who was it? When Bridenstine was like, yeah, 2024 moon landing, everyone was like, okay. I don't know what hardware you're going to be working with, but we literally don't have a moon suit ready for 2024. That became 2025, which I think I agree with you. I think it'll be 26.
I was dazing off the other day, and I was just realizing 2024 and 25 and 26 really doesn't seem like that far away anymore. Especially with how fast time is moving now. I mean, you got 2 kids. Your week probably flew by. You don't know what fucking day it is. You know, I'm grinding at my day job. I'm doing the Space with Spo shit and this podcast. And I got so much shit going on in my life too. I barely know what day it is. All of a sudden, it's 2023, bro. I swear to God, I felt like it was 2013 yesterday. So if you think of it in those terms, we're gonna be on the moon in no time.
Yeah, exactly. 2024 will be next year, not too long from now.
Literally,
just like a month, couple months here, it'll be 2024 is next year, and there's no way there's going to be a moon landing next year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so speaking about going back to the moon, Artemis updates. The biggest Artemis update that we have for you right now is they say it's on track to roll out to the pad Friday, November 4th, which is this week. Holy shit, I didn't realize that was this week.
This Friday.
Just for some history for the people tuning in here, the rocket has been rolled back to NASA's VAB, which is the Vehicle Assembly Building, on 3 previous occasions now. Once in April, once in July after fueling tests, and then again in September to shelter it from the hurricane. It's a 4-mile journey every time they want to roll it to the pad. Pat, is this going to be the rollout? Is this going to be the one that you could finally go there, watch the rollout, and be like, I saw the rollout, not a rollout? What are your thoughts?
I'm going to say no. There is a possibility of a tropical storm not too long thereafter.
My God.
And this launch window they're targeting is all night launches, which is not ideal for the first flight of any vehicle because you want to be able to see what's going on. Not that they can't see necessarily with infrared cameras and whatnot, but it's just more ideal. So I think they're gonna go for it. And maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised, but I just don't. The way it has been going, and that's not bashing on anybody working on the project or anything. It's just it's a new rocket, and we haven't really even had a full wet dress rehearsal yet. So yeah, I don't think that it's this one. That's my personal orbital take.
I wonder if these guys that work at the VAB and their job is to like roll out the rocket, I wonder if they get paid overtime for that whole mission to roll it out. Because if they do, they are getting paid this year, bro. A fourth rollout and roll back in, and then it'll be 5. I mean, imagine you just got that bonus check every time you do that. It's like, all right, let's just fucking keep running it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and rolling it out, it puts stresses on all of the hardware, and this is why you see Falcon Heavy didn't roll out vertical, right? It rolled out horizontal, and then it got to the pad, and then it went vertical. ULA, the launch pad is like it. The launch pad is where the rocket is assembled, and then the building moves back. So there's not this other companies. Other companies, other rockets don't have this like crawler thing that takes 18 hours or whatever it is to roll their vehicle out. It's just not efficient. I don't think anybody would call SLS efficient by any means, but so that's why you don't see this problem happening with other rockets.
Imagine being at Cape Canaveral on vacation, not knowing there's a rocket launch, and you see the Falcon Heavy just soar over you like,
oh my god!
And
then the double sonic booms, the boom boom, of the two boosters coming back in. Yeah, be sick, dude. We got to go to the next one.
Yeah, I'll see you at the next Falcon Heavy, right?
I'll see you at the next Falcon Heavy. You too, Robin. We'll see you there.
Actually, though, let's hit it. Let's introduce the people to NASA's Voyager project scientist, internationally known for his physics. Introducing this week's OTOG, Dr. Edwin Stone.
Let's go.
As you get the crowd's going fucking crazy for Dr. Edwin Stone.
Yeah, so this week's OTOG, Dr. Ed Stone. Badass name. Badass. I
call him
name.
Edwin, bro. Fuck Edwin Stone.
Edwin Stone.
Shit's way harder.
He Dr. Ed Stone. It just sounds like, like a professor in the Marvel Cinematic Universe or something. He just sounds like a badass. And he is a badass. He has been the Voyager project scientist literally for 50 years. In 1972, he was named Voyager project scientist. And
guys, what's the longest you've ever held a job? This guy just had a job for 50 fucking years.
50 years. Yeah, so he has been in charge of Voyager from start to finish. So he announced his retirement this year. I think it was late last week. And yeah, the Voyager, as we've talked about on this show, is so iconic. It's one of the most prolific planetary science missions. It really set the stage for the planetary science discipline in general. And this guy was in charge of it. So Linda Spilker, who is in charge of or will take charge of Voyager moving forward. So the project is in great hands. She has been involved in Voyager from, I don't know if it's from 1972, but at least from the first planetary flyby, she was there. So Voyager is in good hands. And let's be honest, the Voyager probes aren't going to last for that much longer, maybe another 5 to 7 years. But I think they've calculated that they will lose 4 watts per year, and so they have to find ways to make that up, and then eventually those will go away. But Dr. Ed Stone, thank you for your service.
So you want to laugh? So he said this in a statement: "It has been an honor and a joy to serve as the Voyager project scientist for 50 years." End quote. All right, bro. I mean, hey,
cool.
If that's all you got after fucking 50 years, you earned it, buddy. Man,
when your name is Ed Stone, that's all you need to say. I'm honored to have been. Thank you.
Still alive, still kicking. He was the leader of this mission since 1972. Bro, that's so long.
That was the year that was the year of the last moon landing.
Yeah, that's insane.
Think about that.
Moving on to launch and scrub of the week.
Yeah, so this is pretty straightforward. My launch of the week, a moon landing has been restored on the Artemis IV mission. So when NASA was announcing the Artemis mission architecture, the Artemis 3 mission is going to be the first landing with humans, but then the Artemis 4 mission was going to be the first flight of the lunar gateway. Basically, it's going to be the mission to set up the lunar gateway. So Artemis 4 will be the first flight of the habitation and logistics outpost which is Halo. That's basically the baby version of the Lunar Gateway. But then they're also going to have a moon landing that mission as well. So I was happy to see that because, between Artemis 3 and Artemis 5, you're talking, maybe 3 or 4 years between moon landings. Like that's, you're going to kill the whatever vibes we got going for Artemis. So I was glad to see that put back in there. So my launch of the week is a moon landing being added back into Artemis 4.
Let's rock.
What's your launch of the week?
All right. I am launching the Solar Dynamics Observatory. If you guys don't know, this was a NASA mission that was launched to observe the sun in 2010. It's a spacecraft that basically stares at the sun of all hours of the day. And you may have seen one of the captures come across your feed this week. It was this photo of like the smiling sun, where like it looked like the sun was smiling. Then they also posted a photo from 2014 of like the sun looking like a jack-o'-lantern. And I thought it was interesting how everybody's like, oh, look, the sun's smiling. How cute is that? Really, at the end of the day, these dark patches, and they're basically these regions of the sun where the solar wind like shoots out. And it's actually really dangerous for our planet, right? It like zaps us. It fucking blacks out our technology. All our phone lines go down and shit. So I thought it's funny how we're all like, oh, look how cute the sun looks. Meanwhile, like it's actually really fucking dangerous. So I do want to launch the Solar Dynamics Observatory. I think that's awesome. And I think more people need to know that, you're not supposed to look at the sun with sunglasses, but when it comes to SDO, they got photos of the sun every day. You go look for your own viewing pleasure online. So that was my launch of the week, SDO, baby. What do you got for your scrub, Pat?
That is a perfect segue into my scrub of the week. My scrub of the week is an asteroid that was just found in the glare of the sun that is potentially a planet killer asteroid. This asteroid is called 2022 AP7, and it is basically big enough where if it were to impact Earth, it would affect multiple continents. They don't know its exact orbit because it was literally just discovered a few days ago, but it's a potentially dangerous asteroid, which it will cross the orbit of Earth at some point. But it's in an area where it's very difficult to see it because you're literally staring into the sun. One of these asteroids was the one that exploded over Chelyabinsk back in 2013, and they didn't see it ahead of time. That one was only like 60 feet, but yeah. So I'm scrubbing these planet killer asteroids because, as we know, planetary defense is very important. The DART mission, the NEO Surveyor. So thank goodness we have these instruments that can detect it.
Yeah, I like to scrub the aspect of asteroid news as well. I feel like as news writers, you really should only be writing about 1 to 2 asteroid watch out articles per year. I don't know. Everybody gets these every week, and I get them, and I'm so sick of answering like, "We're good for now, guys. We're good for now." But we're cool that we found.
We're good for the next like 100 years, I think, right?
Yeah, we're good for now. All right. So my scrub of the week was the New York Times UFO article. It was titled, "Many military UFO reports are just foreign spies or airborne trash." They're saying, forget these space aliens or hypersonic technology. And they're claiming that, they have explanations for UFOs. Look, this is taking a step back. The New York Times, when they dropped that article in 2017, or 2016, whatever fucking year it was that they came out with that was good. This is taking a step back. Obviously, most of them can be classified as something, but we're talking about the few instances where you cannot say that those objects are made on this planet. So I just want to fucking scrub the New York Times. I hate whoever wrote that. Scrub that shit. All right, Pat, they have another episode of Orbital Takes in the books. Pat, where can they find us online?
You can find us online at Orbital Takes on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. We'd also appreciate a 5-star review on whatever podcast platform you listen to us on. And at Astra, everybody.
There you guys have it. Have a great week. Have a better weekend. We'll see you next time. And at Astra, baby.